Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am ecstatic to have you all here. You are my special guest for the Black Girl Encourage Her. I am your host, Sheniqua Inspires, and I am excited about this new series that we are doing to bring forth encouragement to everyone, but from a Black girl perspective. So I want to bring in my friends, people that I fellowship with, people who have been a blessing in my life. I want to introduce them to you all so that you can be encouraged and inspired and motivated just the way they do in my life personally. So I'm going to bring my very special guest, Carol Pompey, up to the scene. Hey girl, hey, how
Uh,
are you?
I am good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. You welcome. Thank you for being my guest here on the Black Girl Encourage Her. This platform is just so super important to me because it's about staying encouraged. And I think
hmm
that, yes, we all have that innate gifting where we can encourage ourselves. However, I want people to know that when they surround themselves with good people, like I have, you surround yourself with good people
Good.
that you can be encouraged. So we are
hmm
out here and we are ready to get that encouragement going. So, Carol, I know you very, very personally. I want everyone else to know who you are. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So I am Carol Pompey. I'm also an author of the book Change of Habit. I am a health coach. I am a CHHA certified home health aide. I um I wear many hats. I am a clinical medical assistant. I also CNA, and I do so many things. Apart
You
from
sure
that,
do.
yeah, and also I'm a student.
Awesome.
I'm a student in the nursing field, so that's who I
Welcome.
am. A little bit of who I am.
Awesome. Well, again,
Oh,
I
and I
know
used
you
to be a
personally.
secretary too before.
Okay.
So
That's good. Listen, we all wear many hats, and I think all of the experience that we've had from time to time again, it becomes an asset to us, right? It's an
yes.
asset, and we get to build upon it. So you have done just that. So being a health coach, so you started as a CNA. And then you moved over, and now you wear this extra, this added skill of being a health coach, which is really, really needed in this day and age. So, Carol has set the stage and she is in the service industry. And, Carol, one of the reasons why I wanted you to come on and speak with us today, for one, people always ask me, because I am this encourager, because I am this motivator, people always ask me, well, who keeps you encouraged? Who keeps you motivated? Like, who do who lifts you up? And listen, I'm glad you guys asked that question because here is one of the people who have been a blessing in my life, who continuously is in my corner, rooting for me, cheering for me,
hmm
clapping for me. And so she is one of the ones that definitely keeps me encouraged. And I wanted you all to get a chance to meet her. But Carol, I particularly wanted you to come in and talk and give some words of encouragement for people who are in the service industry, likened to yourself. And not only just those individuals who are in a service industry. And what I mean by service industry means that you go out and you provide a service. So that is your
hmm
role in the community. You are providing a service. So Carol's actually going out and she's taking care of your loved ones. So we got to love on Carol because she's loving on your loved ones in the service industry. But I also wanted to tag in and talk about people who are caregivers. So tell us
Mhm.
about your experience in those two areas, and then we'll get ourselves set up to give some words of encouragement for the listeners.
Okay, so as you say, Shaniqua, I give what I would say, I give a piece of myself every single day to others. I see, others as you know, just like how I would like to be serviced or treated. I also try my best to do the same to others, whoever I come in contact with. And they have ranges in age. Some are 100 years old, some are 99 years old. What I have recently been doing, servicing people all in their 90s, and I gain wisdom from them as well. Even though I'm servicing them, sometimes they just need someone to sit with them for a while. They don't
Mhm.
care about anything else. Once you can provide something basic for them, that's all they want, but they want your attention.
Yes.
And that's what I found of recent, that I have giving more of my time, which that's where my health coaching comes in.
Mhm.
I i have been doing lots of more health coaching this year, from the since last year, more than I would have been doing other things. Yes, those are minor things, the other things that I do, but basically the people that I service, they more want someone just to sit and be with them, and
Mhm.
for you to just hear them out. And that's what I've been doing, but I can only do that based on what how I take care of me. So,
Mm.
what I do, I help them, just, they just want something. They want you to prepare something nice for them. And that's what I think of the nutritious, what is healthy for them, like I would think of myself. And that's what I would give to them. I would try to make whatever little they have the best presentation. I would try to give them, so when they see it, it doesn't look like just a piece of bread or just a piece of nothing. It is more than that. And
Awesome.
so it
It's like you create
encourages
an
them.
experience for them, right? It's
Yes,
like a fine dining experience
yes.
right in their home. That's beautiful. Go ahead.
With the whole works, cutleries, with a salad, with everything, a glass of juice, water, everything that would you think of would be laid out there. Yet it is something that we take for granted, that is just a simple breakfast. No, it
Mhm.
isn't. Or it's just a simple lunch. No, it is not just a simple lunch. This is how I'm going to present it to you. And when all when that is finished, then we find time, like, I impart some of my creative side, you know um my skills, my other skills, my creativity, like art. There's
Mhm.
one who I work with art, which is, to me, when I look at it, it's like therapy for her. It's
Yeah.
therapy for me too, because I get a chance to do my part, because both of us will be doing art together, abstract art, obviously. That's my 99, soon to be 99-year-old.
Wow, wow. Yes, I can only imagine what it's like, because you do have so many skill sets. And what many people don't know about you is that you knew this was coming, right? What many people don't know about you is that you literally grew up in the convent. Like that's where you got your touch. And I think that that was yeah, everybody, she was in the convent. Yes. That I think gave you that extra one, the sensitivity, but two, the discernment to know what people need. And I think it also helped to enhance your service, like your dedication and commitment to service. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that time of your life being in the convent.
Oh, well, my life in the convent started as a teenager. I from my church community and my young adult, the group I was in, we did a lot of services, out in remote areas, servicing communities that was never serviced for years, and finding the problems that exist there and helping with our little money. And sometimes there was one religious who was passionate for young people, and she came from a rich family, and she uses, her family to support the young people financially. And so they were able to pay for some of those trips to the remote areas, which we had to fly by plane and stuff like that, and trot through um, swamps and different things to get to people and live among people the way they live, just sleeping on the floor and all of that. So we did most of that, and we found out what the needs were, and try to go back, or find people who can, business people who can go back and help these people. So I started that as a young adult, and it grew in, my passion for service to people. And so many groups that I was involved, and they say, you can do that, you can do this, in the convent. You could come here with us and live among us, as well as, there's a spiritual side, and I thought of it long, hard, and eventually I was drawn to a particular community, not in my own country, but the main house was in Trinidad. And so I had to move from my country to go to another country to be trained and to live among people and learn of the more there were more a lot more to do in Trinidad, like so many different works, whether it's the
Right.
physically challenged and elderly and schools. I had a variety of that, you we were trained in so many different ways. And also you had a spiritual part where you had to, live a certain way, a life. You dressed a certain way. I had to give up all my nice clothes and just, just like you in the military, you wear
Yeah.
uniform. So I was in a uniform. Every day I wake up, I put on that same uniform, and I, get out and do what I had to do, be part of the community. I learned to do different things. I learned how to be brave. I learned how to speak to people, how to address community issues. I learned so many things in that. So I spent
Awesome.
about 8 years, altogether,
Wow.
servicing, being quiet at times, learning to accept,
Hmm.
you know, different challenges and rise above those challenges and live among people of different background, culture background, from different countries and so on. But,
Nice.
you know, I did what I had to do, and then here I
Absolutely. And
am.
I think you're better because of it. Like, I didn't know you, way back in those days, but I think that your experience, your time there has really made you a gem. Like it cultivated you, it molded you. And then once you stepped into the outside world, you still kept those same premises that you were living by those 8 years in the convent. You kept those, like, and I don't know if you see that, but you can tell for those that encounter you, like you just have this gentle spirit. And you're really giving of yourself. And I think you're always thinking about the clients that you're servicing. Like you just
Hmm.
talked to us about how you cater to these older adults that you go out to take care of. Yes, they need you for their physical needs. Maybe they have to get in the shower, or you might have to do housekeeping and cooking, like, but you do it from a place of love, a
Hmm.
place of gratitude, just for them, and you help them through their aging years. So I think that alone is a blessing in itself. And to everyone who works in a similar type of service industry, it really is about less about who you are. Well, no, I don't want to say it like that. Less about you in the sense of, I need this, I need that, but it's more about what it is that you do. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, so I can go in and I can give a bath and make someone feel beautiful. I can go in and give a bath or do skincare and make, an aging lady who was uncomfortable, make her feel better. Like, so that place of servitude is a beautiful, beautiful place. But then, Carol, when you come home, you don't get to, just sit in the room and do you and replenish you. You are also a caregiver,
Mm-hmm.
right? So tell us a little bit about being a caregiver. So you're caring when you're at work, and then you have to come home and you play that role as well.
Oh yes, I do. My mom, she's soon to be 80 in March.
Nice.
And so she too is at that stage where, she needs some assistance.
Mhm.
And so I'm here, like of recent, she was in hospital. So when she came out, it was even a little bit more,
Mhm.
getting up in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever time. In the beginning, she's better now,
Thank God.
just to, can I go to the bathroom? Can you help me? And sometimes I could say, oh my God, I gotta go to work. But okay, yes, I have to,
Yes.
because, and I get up and do what I have to do. My sister and I, we take turns,
Mhm.
and she's much better now. But, whatever she needs, I'm her what you say. I'm the one who runs around to pick up her medication,
Mhm.
who's, if she needs this, to take care of her, some of her finances, to take care of those, bank this, pay this bill, that bill, and do whatever she needs. Sometimes she just needs, sometimes she's in pain. You gotta, rub here and rub there, and, that kind of thing. Or
Yeah.
just be there, to watch. She might want to watch movies. Like sometimes I got to schedule, okay, this is what she likes. And so I have to abide by that. As we say, thank God for your phone, and you can watch something else sometimes.
That's right.
Or watch um, something like Netflix, or, while she's. At whatever.
That's
And
right.
sometimes you watch a good movie. But it's
So
like,
what I want to know from you, and I didn't mean to cut you, but what I want to know from you is how do you balance that? Like, how do you get up, go to work, take care of people, and then come home and take care of people and not get burnt out or not, be curled up in a ball? Like, how do you keep yourself encouraged?
oh, well, you know what? I draw strength from some of the things that I have learned. I got to say, I learned from the convent.
Mm,
And thank God too, I'm a good sleeper. When I sleep, I sleep. And that is what I always thank God for. I say, thank God for that gift, that I could just put my head down and sleep, despite, even if I, say, for example, if I was angry, about something, and I didn't like it, you bet when I put my head down, it's nowhere I know anything about that. It's gone.
awesome. Good.
It's gone. I will sleep sound. So one of the things I do, like, I like to take care of me, and
Mhm.
I try to make time for me. It doesn't matter if work, I have a lot of work to do. Yeah, I'm always busy. People said, oh, I'm bored, I'm bored. I'm never bored. There's
That's
never
right.
one day I'm bored,
Right.
because I know how to keep myself busy. And one of the things I do is that when I get up in the morning, every morning when I get up, the first thing I want is a cup of tea. A cup of tea. And I never knew this so much so, because when I look back now, at 3 o'clock, I think it's about 3 o'clock every day when I was in a convent, that was tea time.
Mhm.
So before we start an evening class, we always had a cup of tea and something to eat, because we would have like an evening class, not a taxing class, but there was something is more a reflective class, and from that straight into prayer, meditation and prayer, and from that straight into dinner and whatever. So you better take that cup of tea when you get it that time, because after that you won't have supper till about 6:30 after all those activities happening.
Okay.
And it was something about it that kept you going. And something that I do every morning is I always want a cup of tea when I wake up. As soon as I wake up, I want a cup of tea. And so I would make that cup of tea, and I would sit. In the meanwhile, my sister is getting ready for work. She's already taking her shower and doing whatever she's doing. I will have that cup of tea. But it's not only a cup of tea. And that's the time also I use to do my scripture reading. While I'm taking my cup of tea, I read, even if it's a verse, even if sometimes I end up reading a chapter, but not more than that. Because, that timing is crucial. I'm getting ready for work too.
Right.
And when I'm finished all of that, sometimes it could also be not only scripture, it might be a little passage from a book, but not too much, but basically mostly scripture. And after that, then I go about my usual routine. Then I have my breakfast and I leave for work. Now, if I'm traveling, I always have my ebooks that
Nice.
I draw from too. One of the books I read, I always read that. Sometimes it makes me laugh because I can identify with it, because I remember doing the similar things, like watching a movie, and I always gain something from a movie, like some things like would scripture, I can link it with scripture. And I used to do that when it was my turn in the convent to do the meditation.
Nice.
And that's why they said our group was different, because we use modern day technology or modern day things. And so I would read one of the books, and one of the book is Sicily Sunday with Sheniqua. I love your book. So what happens, it makes me laugh sometimes. So they're short readings, so it can take me to my destination. But there's something that I will take from there, even if it was one word that would help me through the day, along with one word from my scripture or one passage from there that would help boost me to go. It's like you take your vitamin.
Yes.
So that was my spiritual vitamin.
Amen.
And so I allowed that to take me through the day. So even if I meet with a challenge at work, I draw back from what I have read, either on the train or what I have read when I was taking a cup of tea.
I
And
love
so
that.
I would build on that. So it would help me to see things differently. And sometimes what happens too, I ended up sometimes sharing with my client based on who they are. If I see they're spiritual, I pull out my spiritual vitamin. And
Okay.
if I find they're not, I take the one from my book or something what I would have read or listened to. I said, but I read this today, it sounds exactly what you're saying. And this is how I look at it. And I will share with them how I thought of what I read or listened to. They said, but it's just like me. And we would start that's just to start a conversation. And then I would listen to what they have to say. And based on what they have to say, then I can pull things together and we can solve the problem, or the issue that would make the day even better.
I love it. I love it. And so what I'm gathering from you is that the way you start your day, oh God, that's good. The way you start your day is in direct relation to how the rest of your day is going to go. So you say that you start your day with your me time, right? You
Mm-hmm,
grab your cup of tea, and not only are you sipping on this hot beverage, you're taking a quiet moment.
mm-hmm,
So you're not, and most people, as soon as the alarm clock goes off, boom, they jump up and they're racing to get ready and they're racing out the door. And they don't take that moment of pause, that selah, and just really just sitting in the stillness so that you can now be the recipient of something. So you're sipping your tea, you're reading your word, your spiritual nourishment, and then it's like you're marinating that on that all day long.
mm-hmm,
And that's one of the ways as an educator that I'm always teaching people. When you learn something, you retain it even more when you start to speak it and speak it and speak it, or teach it and teach it and teach it. So, what you do is you read something, and yes, it becomes like your mantra for the day. It's the word that you're holding on to, it's the phrase that is driving you. But to really solidify that goodness into you, you start teaching it and saying it to everyone that you encounter. So even, you go into a client, they may be disgruntled, they're upset about this, they're in pain, and then you're able to minister to them in a non-ministerial kind of a way, right? But you're able to feed back what it is that you receive during your me time, your quiet time, and it actually starts to settle them. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great way of reiterating or reinforcing that encouragement, is by giving it to others. So you
Mm-hmm.
take a moment for yourself, and now you're able to pour into others, and it doesn't leave you dry. No
No.
wonder, no wonder you're able to go home and still be able to provide care, for your loved ones. Carol, give us some words of encouragement. So let's just imagine that we've got all of the people who are in the service industry. We've got all of the home health aides watching this segment right now. We've got all of those people who are out there in the trenches providing care. And we've got all of those caregivers. And maybe even some of them are using that dual role like you are. So they're in the service industry, they're giving, 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 and then they have to come home and they have to give, whether it's to their parents, to their spouse, to their children. There's just still in that giving mode. What words of encouragement or encourage her would you provide to them?
Oh, so one of the things I would say, always, even though you're busy in what you're doing, is it's very important to make time for you. You is not too busy to take care of you. So for me, because even though I am busy, I sometimes like yesterday and today, I'm home. I choose to be home. So sometimes we have to recognize within ourselves when we need that me time. And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter how busy you are or how busy people want to make you be, you have to stop and say, it's me time. And claim it. Because if you
Mm.
don't claim your me time, then you wouldn't get it. You got to
Yes.
take control of your me time. And that's what I do. I choose not to work yesterday and I choose not to work today. That was my choice.
Mhm.
The choices must always be ours. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. If I drop today, the work will go on. So why should I not take my me time? But when I take my me time, is not to do for others for their
Mhm.
time. My me time is because I wanted to do my painting. Yesterday I wanted to do some painting. That's for me. I wanted to do some continuing education of something totally different. I get some of that done. My me time is okay if I just want to go to the to get my nails done or my feet done and be pampered. That's me time.
Mhm.
That's what I wanted to do. But I can say, like I said, can you work tomorrow? No, I have an appointment. When you say you have an appointment, don't question me because
Mhm.
first thing they would think your appointment is for the doctor.
Right.
So yes, you get it. Yes,
Yeah.
okay. So my appointment is to take care of me.
I love
I
it.
wanted to paint. I wanted to do this. I wanted to, you know, get my hair done or whatever I feel to do is me time. Or even if I want to sleep, it's me time. Or I want to watch a good movie. But something you must, work is, work will always be there.
Mhm.
And you can say, oh no, I have to work. I have to work. No, you don't have to all the time. Because if you don't take me time, then you won't be good for the job that you're doing. You will be too tired. You could be going to work sleepy. You'll be going to work, oh, I don't feel like being here. When I get up in the morning, I get started and I get to any one of my client, I'm happy to be there.
Nice.
And I'm happy to get it started with, to get to do what I have to do. And like last week and the week before, I have 3 clients that I'm helping that are fighting for me. They're
I know
fighting.
why. I know why. Yes, I would too. I'd be out in the fight trying to get you too. Yes,
The
absolutely.
100-year-old is fighting for me. The 99-year-old is fighting for me. The one who keep calling and calling to get me. Luckily, I was available last week in one day, and I'm happy that I went to her. She's the one who she paints, and when I met her, I told her I don't paint, but I do abstract art. And she wanted me to teach her abstract art, what how I do it. And so we got canvas and we did that during the summer.
Nice.
And she did her painting and she didn't like it, and she told her daughter that she messed up on it and she couldn't sleep all night. So when I went the next day, I said, let me have a look at you. I said, what is messed up about it? It's a perfect abstract art. And so she fixed it up and she couldn't sleep the next day without going to bed to fix it. When I went the other day, because I worked with her for this one week, and when I went the other day, she had her signature at the bottom,
Nice.
meaning it was complete.
Oh.
And then, so last week, this little story, she said to me, she said, I want you to come, and something is telling me to go take it, the kids, don't turn her down. So the manager herself called me and said, this person's requesting. I said, okay, put my name in, I'll go see her. I went to see her, and the first thing, oh, I met the daughter. She was going out to work, and then I go upstairs because she doesn't come down till late in the morning. And as soon as she see me, when she saw me, she started to cry. She started to cry, literally cry, and I couldn't understand. I said, give me a minute, let me clock in and I can talk to you. So I clocked in and then I stood up there, and then she was telling me something her daughter said to her that wasn't nice. Not another one of her daughter that she wished that she wasn't her mother.
Mm.
And that she was crying about. And she said she was thinking of going in a nursing home and, well, different things she started talking about. But I listened to her and I said, I listened. And so now there is my health coaching skills gonna pop in. So I use my skills interchangeably. So I listened to her and, she talked. And so by the end of the day, she was good. She was happy that I was there. She was happy that I could, she likes to cook. So
Mhm.
she lucky that I was there in the kitchen and we were talking about art and she was cooking and everything we were doing and I was helping her to do, we were fixing it into art. And
Nice.
then I said, well, I'll bring you some more art pieces so when you feel a certain way, you can put it down on your art, you can paint it. And then whenever I see you at any other time, it doesn't matter if it's a month from now, I come back to you, we can talk about it. And so she was
Nice.
happy about that in the end. So for me, if I don't fill myself up, if I don't take care of me, then I'm no good for the other person. So I ensure that I take time off sometimes for me, even if it's to go for a walk. I like to do
Mhm.
walks. So when the we have good days, I look at it as the Emmaus walk, like from scripture. Even I have in my book of the Emmaus
Yeah.
walk. Sometimes I do like to do a long walk in Prospect Park. I call it the Emmaus walk, where I can talk. People don't see when you're talking when you have your mask on, right? So I can
Right.
talk. Nobody see this one is crazy because she's talking to herself. I can talk and tell God everything in my conversation. That's my Emmaus walk. So
Nice.
I am there to talk about how I feel and what I think about everything, and I'm there to listen. So by the end of my walk, I should have an answer, have my conversation with my God,
Yes.
about
I love
everything.
it.
So that's my time for me. And I think, that sometimes we need to stop and see what what motivates us or what things that
Mhm.
we like to do and do it, not
Yes.
wait and see I wish I could, or I don't have the
Mhm.
time, or now I have an injury, I can't do it because I should have done it then, and I should have. Do it when you have the time. Take the time, move away. Job will always be there. Take even one day, as busy as it is, take a day for you and see how it
Yes.
works. See how that will motivate you for the rest of the week, or motivate you for the next month, that you can put aside that money. I like to go. I like to go out too. Sometimes I go and I sit down and have dinner by myself.
Yes.
I like to entertain me. I like to enjoy myself in that way. I like a company sometimes, but sometimes when you can't, you go by yourself.
That's right.
You jump on the bus, you find a place. It must be nice. Sometimes I like to travel on the bus and go and get a nice restaurant. I go to Olive Garden and I sit down and have a nice salad, and I
Phenomenal.
go maybe to the store. I might buy something, even if it's one thing I will buy. It's something I'm doing. I set out to do that one thing.
Awesome.
So all those things I do motivate me. It's good
And
for
then
me.
it helps you to then motivate other people.
Another
So
person, yes.
that's a blessing, such a blessing. Well, I know I am definitely encouraged by the words that you've given us, Carol. Mainly, it's okay to have me time. Like you're
Hmm.
literally providing care for everybody else. What about yourself? So get that me time in. Get that reading in. I picked that up as well. That
Hmm.
reading is definitely fundamental. It's the reading that helps you to focus, so you get to focus on the motivation that you're reading. You get to focus on the scripture, which is also motivating and inspiration for you. So you get to meditate on whatever it is that you're reading. Then you said to find something that you like. Oh no, before I jump over to that, the main thing that really hit me that you said was about the choice. We all have a choice.
Hmm.
If you go to that job, there's no need in you being disgruntled at that job because you have a choice. You don't have to go there. Yes, you might need to go there, but you don't have to go there. So if you're going to go there with the right attitude, with the right mind frame so that you can do the job that you're there
Hmm.
to perform. So I love that. That was probably the main takeaway from me. It's about exercising your right
Hmm.
to choose whether or not you want people in your circle, or you just want to spend that time with yourself. So that I think was probably my major encouragement. But then you went on to talk about certain, like finding the things that you love and then incorporating it in what you do. So you
Hmm.
love the art therapy. So you even found a way to be able to do that while you're on the job. So it's like you're doing the work, but then you still get to do the things that you love as well.
Hmm.
So maybe you all can find a way of bridging the two worlds, as long as they don't collide, but bridging the two worlds, and so that you can take that and it'll help you to get through the day and feel encouraged and feel inspired. So I thank you, Carol, so much for stopping in and just sharing a little encouragement or encourage her with us. So tell people how they can connect with you.
Also, I'm on Facebook, as many people. I have many friends on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Sometimes I'm on TikTok. So
Nice.
those three platforms I'm on. And some people I reach directly, like through WhatsApp. We have face-to-face contact. Some of my friends, like, we support each other in, like beginning of the year, like we try our planning together. Let me see how your planning going, what your book looks like for the year. Let me see what it looks like. We show off our books and stuff like that, how it's gonna
Nice.
look, our goals for the year, how we're gonna create things. And so I bounce off ideas with some of my friends on WhatsApp too, where we can talk directly.
And I am certain that all of them are watching this, and I hope that they're encouraged by the words that you give to them personally, but encouraged by what it is that you've shared with all of the viewers on today. So, Carol, I thank you, my dear sister friend, for just being available and willing to stop in to offer up some of that encouragement to us all. So thank you all so very much for watching this segment. It has been a blessing to have Carol on and just give those juicy nuggets about taking that time for yourself. If you were encouraged by that, and I know that you were, I would love it if you would stop in and you would join us for the next segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. Again, I'm your host, Sheniqua Inspires. While you're here on my YouTube page, make certain you check out my podcast, Sisterly Sundays. And I just want to make certain that we keep this encouragement going and that you will be abundantly blessed. So until next time, I'll see you all again real soon. Take care, everybody.